Ministry of Health receives 42,000 face shields. Woman murdered during money dispute. Tragic accident on the west coast of Demerara yesterday leaves one dead, several others injured. In the region, Brazil passes 500,000 COVID deaths as anti-government protesters rally. And internationally, Iraq town decries deadly effects of oil production pollution. Greetings and welcome to another edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. Police are probing a tragic accident that occurred yesterday on Stewartville Public Road, West Coast, Demerara, leaving one woman dead and numerous others hospitalized. Esther Sobers has that tragic story.
Police are investigating a horrific accident at Stewartville Public Road, West Coast, Demerara, around 2:30 p.m. yesterday, which left one woman dead and many others hospitalized. Alejandra Brazon, a 20-year-old Venezuelan national, was killed. Meanwhile, 22-year-old Urias Gonzalez of Port Royal West Bank, Demerara, and three other female Venezuelan nationals, all of Stewartville, West Coast, Demerara, are still hospitalized. Inquiries disclosed that motorcar PRR 2014, driven by 33-year-old Anthony Ralph of Buxton, East Coast, Demerara, was proceeding east along Stewartville Public Road at a fast speed when he overtook motorcar PRR 7512, which was proceeding in the said direction. After overtaking, the driver lost control and collided with a GPL post, eventually ending up in a trench on the northern side. As a result of the collision, the driver and occupants received injuries. They were all taken up in an unconscious state and taken to the Lenora Cottage Hospital, where they were seen and examined by a doctor on duty and referred to the West Demerara Regional Hospital and admitted. Alejandro Brazon was pronounced dead on arrival. The body is at the Ezekiel Funeral Parlor awaiting a post-mortem examination. Investigations are ongoing. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. The Ministry of Health on Monday received 42,000 face shields to boost the country's fight against COVID-19. The donation is a collaborative effort between CS Cargo and Global Logistics and AGN Custom Brokerage and Logistics Services. Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony received the items at a simple ceremony at the Materials Management Unit Bond at Diamond East Bank, Demerara.
This has been a couple of weeks in the making, and I'm so pleased that we're at this point where the face shields are in Guyana.
The minister said the face shields would be distributed across the regions to augment personal protective equipment for frontline workers. AGN Customs Brokerage and Logistics Services Chief Executive Officer Dave Ganandan said the company is pleased to assist the ministry.
As you all know, we're in a pandemic and we're doing what we can to help in our part with the Ministry of Health.
A representative from CS Cargo and Global Logistics, Ms. Rosanna Lucas, also attended the ceremony. A woman was murdered as a consequence of a money dispute and her husband is in police custody. Wendell Jeffrey has that story.
A couple's fight over money has resulted in Saskia Pereira being murdered and her 59-year-old reputed husband Samuel Daniels in police custody. The murder occurred sometime between 8 hours on Sunday, June 20th, and 8 hours on Monday, June 21st in Goodforwacton, East Coast, Demerara. According to police report, Pereira's body was discovered motionless with multiple bruises and suspected stab wounds, following a report that she and Daniels were involved in a fight. Pereira's body was transported to the Georgetown Public Hospital, where she was officially pronounced dead. Her body is at the Lycan Funeral Home awaiting a post-mortem examination. The police also reported that they had retrieved a knife with suspected blood stains and have taken the victim's lover into custody. The suspect has sustained injuries, which he claimed were inflicted by his lover. He was seen and examined by a doctor and remains in police custody while investigations continue. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away after the break. 3 men charged in attempted Republic Bank robbery acquitted, and woman in police custody after stabbing her lover to death.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop price smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Are you looking for men's suits for that wedding, prom, or special party? Or maybe you need to update your wardrobe with a modern fit or a new color for work? Search no more, because John Lewis Styles is the perfect men's suit store. Come see us on Waterloo Street, and our friendly staff will help you choose the perfect size, color, and fit. Complement that suit with a stunning shirt and tie, matching bow tie and suspenders, cufflinks, or even a pair of shiny dress shoes. You will love the way you look. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Tastes so good. It's gotta be made with Alabama Baker wheat flour. Produced from quality soft winter wheat and quality enzymes to give a superior product that's guaranteed to be luscious, delightful to taste, and stays fresher longer. Alabama Baker wheat flour is perfect for breads, roti, puri, pastries, chow mein, pastas, and many other delights. Imported and distributed by Alabama Trading. 6566 Robb Street, Borda, and 23 Lombard Street. Telephone 225-5800.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road, Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. 3 men charged in the attempted armed robbery of the Republic Bank on Water Street in Georgetown was acquitted. More from Esther Sobers.
The 3 men who are involved in the attempted armed robbery of Republic Bank on Water Street, Georgetown, were on Tuesday freed of charges by City Magistrate Leron Daly. The 3 men are ex-police constable Aferny Blackman of Lane Avenue, West Romville, Georgetown, former Republic Bank employee Sean Grimman of Pike Street, Kitty, and ex-rural constable Gladstone George of Princess Street Lodge, Georgetown. The defendants were released when the magistrate upheld the defendant's attorney, Nigel Hughes, and Dexter Todd no case argument. The magistrate agreed with the defense that the state had failed to put together a case against the men. However, the magistrate did not agree with the co-accused. Kieron Saunders did not agree with his no-case submission and instead called on him to lead his defense on July 8. When the case was first called in 2017, Jamal Haynes, 28, of Norton Street, Workmanville, Georgetown, pleaded guilty to and was sentenced to 6 years in prison by Chief Magistrate Ann McLennan. It was reported that on the morning of July 4, 2017, 3 men armed entered the bank before it was opened to the public. Haynes and his gang members, including the deceased Elton Ray, had reportedly planned on getting their hands on the night's deposits since it was a 3-day weekend and the companies would have deposited millions of dollars in the bank. Ray, a 25-year-old China-trained agronomist who was at the time employed at the National Agricultural Research Extension Institution, was shot in the chest during the robbery. He succumbed to his injuries on the same day whilst receiving medical attention. For Channel 2 Headline News, Esther Sobers.
A two-boat collision on Monday morning in the Essequibo River has claimed the life of an 87-year-old pensioner of Kuru Village, Essequibo River. The two vessels collided sometime around 10:45 a.m., killing Richard Bowen, called Uncle John. Investigations reveal that one is a passenger boat which plies the Bartica to Perica route, captained by 50-year-old Jules Benjamin of Perica East Bank, Essequibo, while the other is a small wooden boat which was powered by a 15-horsepower outboat engine and captained by Bowens. According to Benjamin, he departed the Bartica Stelling in the mentioned boat with 23 passengers en route to Bartica. On his journey nearing Bartica, he saw Bowen's boat about 700 meters in front of him heading towards Bartica. As he reached closer to the boat, he said that Bowen suddenly changed his course and collided with his boat, which caused Bowen's engine to fall off the stern and into the water. A nearby boat then rendered assistance and took the injured Bowens to the Bartica Hospital, where he succumbed while receiving medical attention. The body is awaiting a post-mortem examination, and Benjamin is in custody assisting with the investigation. A woman is in police custody after being suspected of stabbing her lover to death during a dispute. Here is more from Wendell Jeffrey.
Sometime between Sunday and Monday last, a lovers' disagreement at Blackwater Landing, Korobong Bagdam in Potaro Superuni, Region 2, resulted in a 23-year-old pork knuckle being killed. His female 26-year-old partner, who is a cook, is accused of the murder and is in police custody. Dead is Junior Singh, called Bumblebee or Fine Man, of the same area. It is also believed that he resides in Suriname. According to the police report, Singh and the suspect were reputed husband and wife. It is believed that Singh and the suspect had planned to leave the Bagdam for home about 5 days ago, but because of transportation issues, they were delayed and were offered a room by a businesswoman until transportation could be arranged. During the time mentioned, the suspect was at the businesswoman's home assisting with cooking, while the deceased was at another shop on the landing imbibing alcohol with friends. His reputed wife later joined him. The deceased began to abuse the suspect verbally, after which they went to their room, where it is reported that they had a physical altercation during which the suspect stabbed the deceased with a knife to the left side of his chest. The police were notified and the suspect was apprehended. She is currently in police custody as part of the investigation. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. Don't go away after the break. Brazil passes 500,000 COVID deaths as anti-government protests rally. And Iraq town decries deadly effects of oil production pollution. But before that, here is the Demerara Harbor Bridge retraction schedule.
I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
For decades, milk has remained the same. Until now. Introducing the Great Dairy Full Cream Milk from Alabama Trading. Enriched with vitamins A to D and calcium to promote healthy teeth, strong bones, and vitality. Great Dairy Milk is delicious and fortified to encourage healthy cell growth within the body. No wonder it's the #1 brand of milk produced in Ireland. Now available nationwide in 400-gram packages at leading supermarkets and wholesale vendors. Distributed by Alabama Trading.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 4-6 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Survival Shopping Complex brings to you its delivery service, Shop Through WhatsApp. This process is simple. All you need to do is call or message your grocery list to 613-9683 and we will select your items for you and have them delivered directly to you, even out of town. This is convenient because we can stay on the phone with you as we select your favorite brands. We're happy to do your shopping for you. Contact us on WhatsApp today and shop Price Smart at Survival Shopping Complex.
Are you looking for men's suits for that wedding, prom, or special party? Or maybe you need to update your wardrobe with a modern fit or a new color for work? Search no more, because John Lewis Styles is the perfect men's suit store. Come see us on Waterloo Street, and our friendly staff will help you choose the perfect size, color, and fit. Complement that suit with a stunning shirt and tie, matching bow tie and suspenders, cufflinks, or even a pair of shiny dress shoes. You will love the way you look. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at news in the region and around the world. Over the weekend, anti-government protesters have taken to the streets of Brazil as the numbers of deaths from coronavirus passed 500,000. Opponents blame the world's second deadliest outbreak on the president's response. Al Jazeera's Monica Yannicke reports.
Thousands rallied across dozens of cities in Brazil to denounce President Jair Bolsonaro's handling of the pandemic. Marching through the streets of Rio de Janeiro to the sound of drum beats and to the chant of indigenous tribes in the capital, Brasilia. They called for Bolsonaro's impeachment, accusing him of still downplaying the COVID-19 pandemic, despite Brazil's death toll being the second largest in the world. When the protests began in Rio, the coronavirus had already killed more than 498,000 Brazilians. As the day wore on, Brazil reached the tragic milestone of 500,000 dead.
This government's responsible for genocide. It delayed the vaccination rollout. We cannot continue to be governed by a president who doesn't care about Brazilian lives.
Just last week, Bolsonaro was fined for leading a motorbike rally in São Paulo without wearing a mask. He's already on the campaign trail for next year's presidential election and continues to promote hydroxychloroquine as a cure for the coronavirus.
I'm 65 years old, was infected by COVID-19 and took hydroxychloroquine. The next day I was cured.
Bolsonaro's opponents had been reluctant to take to the streets against him, arguing that people should stay home in the midst of a pandemic. Now they say it's riskier to remain quiet.
We're here to fight for our lives. The virus is less deadly than our president. We want him out now.
This is happening while a Senate committee is still investigating the government's handling of the pandemic. Senators, doctors, and scientists say they suspect the government has tried to achieve herd immunity by infection.
There's the suspicion that every scientist in Brazil now has. And the president of Brazil is doing everything he can to convince us that that's his strategy since the beginning. When he goes and says that immunization produces a protection that is smaller than if you have the disease, which is not true.
Meanwhile, an average 2,000 Brazilians have been dying every day. And many fear that, at this rate, Brazil may soon surpass the United States as the country with the world's largest COVID-19 death toll. Monica Yanakiev, Al Jazeera, Rio de Janeiro.
And internationally, the COVID-19 vaccine is now being tested on more young children in clinical trials. Pfizer is set to announce trials on children ages 6 months to 5 years. Moderna has already been testing in that age group since earlier this year, but many parents still say they will not allow their children to get the jabs. Al Jazeera's Heidi Castro reports.
In 2020, cocoa farmers in Ivory Coast were dealt a heavy blow as exports fell due to COVID-19. The pandemic hit almost immediately after the world's top producer announced an increase in farm gate price. Hundreds of farmers were left with beans they couldn't export. But the pandemic also opened new opportunities for farmers like Onyawaku.
Local processing has been a very good idea, as we've had local cooperatives that buy and process the beans. This is helping us to sell our produce more.
Like many other farmers, he's looking to earn more than the 3% of the $100 billion a year industry. Factory owners like Axel Emmanuel are expanding, looking to cash in on the new opportunities.
Since 1 century, we planting cocoa, growing cocoa, but the main people there don't know how the chocolate is made, how to process. When you process, there is many value in the value chain. There is many opportunity to earn more money. The chocolate, the cocoa is around $1 per kilo. It's a good opportunity. When you process, you can earn more. And all our cocoa is coming about. But now we decide to process here.
The government is happy to encourage the increase in local processing with its multiplier effect on the local economy.
For decades, farmers and the Ivorian government were focused on exporting raw cocoa beans for foreign exchange. But producers are now realizing they can get more out of the beans than just foreign currency.
At Tumodi, Valentine Yawo and other villagers are taught how to extract oil and butter from cocoa. Until now, she was unaware of the opportunities in processing the beans.
Before the surge in local processing activities, all the beans are sold after harvest by the men. They kept the money. But with this transformation, we too are getting additional income to support ourselves and the family.
The cocoa oil she extracts is used for cooking and costs more than other cooking oils. Cocoa butter is also an important byproduct, which the country used to import from the same cocoa beans it exports. Their newly acquired skill is expected to drastically reduce the import of finished cocoa product, usually brought in at a higher cost. Despite the inward-looking measures, few expect output from the world's biggest cocoa producer to fall. Instead, officials are hoping to boost production far beyond the over 2 million tons harvested in 2020. Ahmed Idris, Al Jazeera, Abidjan.
And finally, with COVID variants spreading quickly around the world, governments are responding more aggressively with vaccines. India's now offering them free of charge to all adults. But the bigger challenge is reaching the majority of its people who don't live in cities or towns. Al Jazeera's Elizabeth Punaram reports.
People living in the village of Bahla take visitors here. They say gas flaring from oil production decimated their generations-old palm trees, leaving behind nothing but trunks. When we met the village elders, they said everyone knows someone who is diagnosed with or who has died from cancer.
I already have cancer and only God helps me. We continue to be worried about our families and loved ones.
The Basra Health Department in southern Iraq says the pollution from oil production is making people and animals in the area sick. The Iraqi High Commission for Human Rights says due to the high rate of cancer in Basra, it's demanding the government work with oil companies to combat pollution.
There is no stability for 6 or 7 years. Every 2 years there is some challenge, political challenge, security challenge. Gas is long-term investment. It needs some stability. And it needs some cash and commitment.
The World Bank ranks Iraq number 2 behind Russia when it comes to gas flaring. Instead of polluting the air, the gas could be recovered and sold, or used to generate electricity for millions of people. The Basra Gas Company is investing $3 billion to do just that at the Rumaila oil field, Iraq's largest.
Anything that the Iraqi government can do or its neighbours can do to create a stable environment is good for capturing more gas and for creating a better environment for the Iraqi people.
The people of Bahla say the land their families have been tied to for 200 years is toxic, and they wonder how many more of them will get sick before the government can help them. Natasha Ghanem, Al Jazeera, Basra, Iraq.
And that is it for today's regional and international news. Here now is your 3D weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Tune in on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for another episode. Be sure to subscribe, like, and follow us on Facebook and YouTube. Until then, stay safe and take care.